Welcome to Defining Dad Bod, where we work to untangle the messy knots of the health and fitness industry as if your children's lives depended on it. Because they do. This is where we decide to make our bodies stand for something bigger than ourselves. This is where we find practical wisdom to live by, one powerful conversation at a time. May the words spoken here inspire you to keep moving forward no matter where you are. Who knows who you could be if you could become 1% better every single day.
We can do the show thanks to the support of listeners just like you. For more information how you can become part of the inner circle, go to findingdadbod.com/inner circle.
What's up, guys? This is Alex Van Houten with Defining Dad Bod. I hope you're doing super well. I'm very excited for today's show. We're actually going to be talking about health and fitness hell and why it is powerful for you and your fitness goals to take the time to make yourself more risk averse. It's going to be a powerful show. I can't wait to share it with you. First, I have an official announcement that I want to bring to the table, and I am just as stoked, if not more so, about this than the show itself. So you should get excited as well. Today is the official announcement that I, Alex Van Houten, will no longer be solo at Defining Dad Bod. I'm bringing on another coach. This is a huge deal for a number of reasons, but primary among them, 1, she's a female coach, 2, she's cheaper than me, and 3, there are very few times in my training career that I've ever met somebody so consistent about their own health and fitness goals that naturally bubbles over into a passion to helping others. And so today I'm excited to announce that our very own Jessie McCall, my sister, who lost 60 pounds herself working with me through Defining Dad Bod, will begin taking clients under the Defining Dad Bod umbrella. In fact, her schedule's already starting to fill up. Call it nepotism and insider training if you must, but personally, I couldn't be more happy about this. I'm not going to gush here, but if you want to go back and hear her story, we published it back in episode 109 to talk through how exercise, nutrition, and lifestyle change lifted her out of postpartum depression and helped her get her pre-baby body back. In fact, she'd say she's in much better shape now than she's ever been in her entire life. And her hard work and transformation has inspired many other moms in her circles to do the same for themselves. What's exceptionally powerful about this is that with her partnership, I, Coach Alex, will still be programming for Coach Jessie's new clients, which means you get the credentials and experience of my last 14 years in the training industry. But Coach Jessie will be your encourager and will help you stay accountable through the support of being the confidant of your program. So if you've been considering coaching through Defining Dad Bod and perhaps found the cost impossible for your budget right now, or maybe you've just been waiting for a lady's touch, because Coach Al can be a little demanding and intimidating sometimes. I'm calling it resting gym face, by the way. I don't know if it'll catch on, but there it is. Then I hope you'll consider giving it a try. As always, instead of committing to the entire package, you can try the Defining Dad Bod virtual coaching trial for 1 week at $25. You can see what a personalized exercise program looks like for you. You can also see what it's like to have a little bit of nutrition accountability by keeping your food journal and submitting it every day. And that will also get you access to 16 weeks of the Defining Dad Bod hormone optimization process, which includes guidance, meal plans, and a whole library of information that even if you don't decide to continue coaching with us, I think you'll find very valuable anyway. The link to that trial is in the notes below, as well as the link to Coach Jess's story, if you're interested in hearing more about where she comes from. For me, this is monumental, because I've been looking for a coach to expand what we do here at Defining Dad Bod, but I wasn't going to bring on just anybody. You see, in business, money is a great indicator that the market's excited about what you're bringing to the table, that people find it valuable. However, to coach with integrity, people and their results have to come before the money. Truthfully, I'd do this for free if 1, I didn't have to eat, and 2, if I found that people would actually make changes with a free program. But me putting food on the table requires that you put some skin in the game, which increases your compliance and makes your transformation all the more powerful. So check out those links, shop our new prices, and consider our trial before things get really busy in January. In the meantime, let's talk about your health and fitness hell and how to hack your own motivation to get better results in 2020. I want you to imagine something for me. Imagine that you're cleaning out your car and you open the dashboard and you start to get out those random napkins and wrappers and stuff that always make their way in there, and you find $100. Heck yeah, woohoo! Little shot of joy and happiness goes through your mind as you think about what $100 might mean to you. Hey, it's $100 you didn't have anyway, and that's nice, right? Plus, it's the holiday season. You could probably put that toward buying somebody else a gift, or maybe buying yourself a gift. That would be cool. Now imagine if on the next day, having decided what you were going to spend your $100 on, you walk through the parking lot and then into the store that you're going to spend your $100 at. You reach into your pocket and it's not there. You retrace your steps. You go look through the car. You look in your dashboard again just to see if it showed up there. But sure enough, you've lost your $100. All of a sudden, the things you thought you were going to spend that money on vanish, and you feel the pain of loss. Wait a second, Alex, am I listening to Defining Dadbot, or have I gone into some weird Twilight Zone psychology economist thing? No, you're still at Defining Dadbot, and today we're talking about risk aversion. You see, a series of studies have been done in psychology that finds that we are much more scared, fearful, and disgusted by the potential of loss than we are excited, motivated, and inspired by potential gains. And here during the holiday season, you're setting the foundation for how you're going to live in 2020. I want to have a frank conversation with you about your health and fitness hell. This isn't out of the blue. I've been asking online coaching clients for the past 4 years to start their fitness journey with me by taking some time to journal what their health and fitness heaven looks like and what their health and fitness hell looks like. In fact, if you've been following the show for a while, I've asked you to do this a number of times. But the reason I'm revisiting it today comes from a few conversations I've had over the past couple weeks. That, in conjunction with publishing a show recently about my own personal health and fitness hell, that is my Ehlers-Danlos story. You can check out episode 119 if you missed that, has inspired me to talk to you about it. So here's the truth. Psychologically, you are much more motivated to do certain things or not do certain things by negative emotions like fear and disgust than you are by positive emotions like excitement, motivation, or even inspiration. In the health and fitness world, oftentimes we ask people to tell us your goals so that we can help you achieve them. That would be a positive motivational factor. You tell me, I'd like to lose 20 pounds. I'd like to keep up with my kids. I'd like to be more energetic. I'd like to look good by the pool, and so on and so forth. Those goals are positive motivational factors. And while they're powerful, it turns out that they're not nearly as motivational as identifying the potential consequences of not making a change today. What that means to me is that through a bit of discipline, time, energy, and a little bit of unpleasantness, it's important to me to help my clients flesh out what hell actually looks like. It's been my experience that if I help you with a program to reach your goals, and I show you what the workouts look like, and I show you some tweaks that you can be making to your daily nutrition, and I show you what lifestyle habits might be standing in your way to accomplish those goals, the compliance to that sort of program might be somewhere between 30 and 50%. You'll get some results, and some results are better than no results, but you won't get the best results you possibly could. On the other hand, if I take some time to help my client focus, to flesh out, and then to write down the health and fitness hell that they don't want to come about because of them not reaching their goals, compliance to my fitness programs goes up considerably. I have clients who are in the 80, 90, and even 100% compliance rate with their nutrition, their exercise, and their lifestyle changes. Take me personally, for example. I speak a lot on the show about working hard to leave a legacy of health and fitness for my kids. I want to lead by example, and I want to do the things that I know I should be doing with my nutrition and my exercise so that they see that and that they carry that into their own lives, so that perhaps health and fitness could be a foundation that they can springboard into their lives with. And for almost 120 episodes, I've focused almost exclusively on those ideas, and I've worked very hard to flesh them out. However, when I go for a run, or I choose not to eat certain things, or I take the time to go grocery shopping and meal plan, and I don't stop for fast food when it would be convenient for me and my family, many of those choices and habits are not motivated in the moment by some voice in my head that's saying, Alex, you want to set an example. Alex, watch out, that thing's not going to help you with your goals. In fact, if you put a gun to my head, I would tell you that about 2 out of 10 times that I make a decision, that it comes from the positive side of motivation and not the negative. The other 8 out of 10 times, I can honestly say that I'm much more motivated by fear or disgust of an immediate or perceived hell that I'm trying to avoid. What do I mean by that? A big part of it is my Ehlers-Danlos journey. I don't know whether or not you can call that a blessing in disguise, but unlike many people, if I skip too many workouts, or I eat poorly for too long of a period of time, then I'm reminded, usually very painfully, what reality looks like when I make the wrong decisions. It might seem counterintuitive to you, but if I don't keep my muscles in good health and tight enough to compensate for tendons and ligaments that aren't doing their jobs, then my joints grind together painfully and things start popping out of place pretty regularly. That means I can take about 1 week off, or maybe a second week with some intermittent weightlifting in there, before I start to experience very real my health and fitness hell. And the same thing goes nutritionally speaking. One of the things I don't talk about much is the digestive discomfort that follows when I consume things that don't sit well with my gut. I used to say that I have an iron stomach, meaning that you could talk about just about anything gross and it wouldn't bother me. But if you were to speak about my constitution, my gut's actual ability to roll with the punches, yeah, I've got a weak stomach. And if you've ever experienced things like indigestion, irritable bowel syndrome, or acid reflux, you know the relatively immediate hell that's created when you eat things you're not supposed to. And so in my own fitness journey, avoiding the effects of Ehlers-Danlos has been a really big part of me making positive, powerful decisions for myself in the opposite direction. People will ask, how do you make sure you never miss a workout, Alex? And while I would like to answer, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my health. I'm doing this for my fitness. Every day I'm hustling. But the reality is, much of my motivation is to keep my current situation from degenerating into pain and suffering every day. And some of my clients share that common motivation. Not necessarily Ehlers-Danlos, but a health and fitness hell that is very, very close to home and that sits with them regularly. This can be both a blessing and a curse. Since fear and disgust are very powerful emotions, they can push you in the direction of making great positive changes for yourself, but they can also be pretty overbearing. One young woman that I trained has lost over 40 pounds, and she's one of the clients that I talked about earlier who is between 95 and 100% compliant on her food journals, on her workouts, and everything in between. However, now that she's athletically conditioned and that she's in a sustainable place with her health and fitness, we're working to moderate some of the fear and disgust that she's associated with gaining her weight back. Rationally, she knows that if she has a dessert with her husband on a date, that she can't immediately gain 40 pounds back. But she says that she still wakes up every once in a while and in the morning is scared she's going to look in the mirror and see herself like she was 8 months ago. Now, it's obvious that such motivations need to be brought into balance. That's a different conversation for a different day. What I'd like you to take away from this discussion is that you don't necessarily need a genetic disorder like mine to have a firm, powerful, and maybe even productive understanding of what health and fitness hell lurks around the corner for you. On that note, many clients that I've spoken with in my time as a trainer, and even trainers that I've spoken with, have not necessarily had these struggles for themselves, but have had family members and friends that they can pinpoint in their minds that are living examples of the hells they'd like to avoid. One client recently told me that he wanted to get in a certain kind of shape and make a bunch of changes because he was coming up to the age that his dad died of a heart attack. He said, and I quote, "I don't want to put my kids through the kind of hell that I went through, and if I keep doing what I'm doing, that's exactly what's going to happen." And the same is true in my own life. While I still have the immediate hell of Ehlers-Danlos to remind me when I don't work out enough or when I eat the wrong things, I also have burned into my mind friends and family members who have been both unable and perhaps unwilling to commit themselves to the betterment that would keep them from falling into health and fitness traps. Poor mental health, poor physical health, and even poor spiritual health are things that I've seen played out, and cycles of addiction, poverty, victimhood, and other sorts of pain and suffering are just not things that I want for me and my house. And well, again, I wish I could tell you that I was motivated by positive and inspirational things on a daily basis. That's not true the majority of the time. I run 3 times a week because I know what it looks like in somebody's life when they don't and then they can't. I lift 3 days a week and am careful to do it in an intelligent way because I know what it looks like when you don't lift for so long that you don't even know where to start anymore. And on this show, I've given you plenty of scientific reasons why certain foodstuffs could be demonized, at least on a daily basis. For my part, I've seen my fair share of insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, thyroid dysfunction, and crushing obesity, that it's not very hard for me to walk through a gas station and instead of being tempted by the Twinkies and donuts, be disgusted by them. I know that I usually put out a more positive and upbeat show than the one I'm speaking to you right now, so I promise to balance out my karmic debt, if that's such a thing, next week. But today, I have an assignment for you. Think of it like a challenge, and this challenge is not going to be a pleasant one. I challenge you to give yourself the opportunity to become more risk-averse in 2020 with your health and fitness. How do you do that? Listen very closely. Take some time by yourself in the next week or two. It'll take about 20 or 30 minutes. Sit down with a pen and paper, or a laptop if that won't be too distracting for you, and write down in the greatest detail you possibly can what your health and fitness hell looks like. Ask yourself what the consequences will be if your bad habits get the better of you. Look around at your life. Maybe you're in hell right now. Talk about what that looks like and why that is. Be honest with yourself. Write down how it feels to be in hell, or what it would feel like if the worst hell you can imagine in your own health and fitness came about tomorrow. What truly is the worst that can be happening? How would it affect your kids? How would it affect your job? How would it affect your community? How would it affect your opportunities or prospects in life? Write it down the best you can. It won't feel good. It'll hurt a bit. And that's kind of the point. The thing about risk aversion is you have to understand what could be lost to you before it becomes a motivating factor to walk down a better road. In a second, I'll leave you with a smile, but before that, in case you need some inspiration, here are a few of the actual hells that people have described to me in the client onboarding process at Defining Dad Bod. I won't use any names, and I'll make sure any descriptive information is left out. One hell reads, "When I think of health and fitness hell, I immediately think of having another year go by and still having my dad bod. I can get motivated to get up at 4:45 and eat super strict, but for like 30 days or so every now and then. But I will finally buckle. That's usual, having hated every single day of getting up so early and then having to eat very little and missing out on so much. Hell would be hating every morning and even being anxious the night before. Hell would be not knowing what's best for my meal options and having to cut out all of my carbohydrates and eat low calorie all the time. And hell would be not knowing my goals, which are long-term health and fitness for me and my family." Another young woman wrote, "Hell would be staying like I am right now, and also having to run long distances, and feeling like I'm hurting myself for being so sore or injured every time I try some new plan and then have to quit or stop because of it." Another woman said, "Where I'm at now is hell. We eat out a lot due to busy schedules, and it's usually fast food. I'm tired and lethargic all of the time. I'm not comfortable with my body, and I'd like to get my weight down and tone up. I hate what I see in the mirror." Another young woman wrote, "My health and fitness hell is injuring myself because I work out so hard to make up for my bad food choices. And then I feel guilty about my bad food choices and work through the pain anyway. There's gotta be a better way." And a man, father of 3, said, "My health and fitness hell is being overweight with lots of health risks. Unable to participate in events and sports with my kids because of my own health. My hell is sad and full of excuses." Yeah, okay, I'll stop. I understand. Hearing about the health and fitness hells of a bunch of different people can be very depressing. And in fact, the reason I don't make risk aversion our only motivation in health and fitness goals, that is to say, I only ask clients what health and fitness hell looks like so that we can be terrified and disgusted by it and make all the right choices, is that negative emotionality generally makes us anxious. And without a health and fitness heaven to shoot for, our hells might be motivating every day, but our heavens make the risk aversion worth it. And so, if you do take me up on the challenge to really sit down and painfully write out what hell might look like for you so that you can be motivated, at least the way that I am, 80% of the time to avoid it, I'd also challenge you to sit down before 2020 gets in full swing and write out the opposite vision. Health and fitness heaven. If you did everything right, whatever that means, and things turned out as well as you could imagine for them to in the next year or two, what does that look like for you? And as powerfully negative as writing down your hell might have been, picturing heaven is a lot more fun and can be just as powerful in the positive direction. One of my clients said, "My idea of health and fitness heaven is a vision of my future. It would be taking my grandkids on hikes and other outdoor activities without any pain in my knee. I'd like for my wife to never have the experience of sitting in a hospital waiting room listening to a doctor explain the options to her based on my life choices. Health and Fitness Heaven does not include expensive prescription medications, and it does include an active sex life well into my granddad years. Sorry, man, you asked. If I were living in Health and Fitness Heaven now, it would include Saturday morning jogs with my wife, where she doesn't leave me behind, pants that fit, and cooking a variety of foods in the kitchen and on the grill so that I'm not sick of what I eat every day. I'll never be an underwear model, and I really don't care, but I'd like to be strong, healthy, and capable as long as I can be. And to that father of 3, as I've said to many other people in the past, I hope the best for you. And in the process, let's use the power of risk aversion to keep us moving toward that bright, bright future. This has been Alex Van Houten with Defining Dad Bod. I challenge you to take the time to write this stuff down. Don't rush it. It's important. And if you want to share it with me, there's a form at definingdadbod.com/trial. And if you're not interested in actually doing the trial, you just want to put your Health and Fitness Heaven out there so somebody else reads it and gives you a little feedback, that's fine. Just stick it in the additional notes. Just share it, Alex. No information, please. I got you. Until next time, guys, don't be afraid to use every tool in your toolkit. And on your way, keep kicking butt. Keep taking names. The free practical advice and conversations here remain unbought and unbiased thanks to the support of listeners just like you. For more information on how you can become a part of the inner circle of Defining Dad Bod, go to definingdadbod.com/inner circle.